entities I was talking about, the sharks, have exploited our officers with exorbitant interest rates, harsh recovery methods, and terms that ultimately erode financial stability and dignity. Officers should fall victim to such systems when a member-owned, transparent, and supportive institution like Exodus SACCO is in place. Because for us, rescuing you becomes very difficult when you fall in the trap of those people. We are also mindful that just like any other society or organizations, disputes or disagreements always manifest. But I appeal to you to first exhaust the internal dispute resolution mechanisms before running outside for solutions, such as, courts and so on and so forth, which ultimately affects the institution and Exodus SACCO negatively, thus impacting the financial bearing on members' contributions. As leadership, our goal is to see that every police officer transition from uncertainty to stability, from vulnerability to empowerment. This SACCO is one of the key vehicles through which that transformation can be realized. I urge the leadership of Exodus SACCO to focus on 3 strategic pillars with effect from the coming years. 1, digital transformation. We are policing in an area of artificial intelligence and mobile money. We want to see a SACCO where an officer in a remote border post can check their balance, apply for loan, or renew their share capital using a simple USSD code or a robust mobile app without necessarily traveling to SACCO premises in Kampala or regional offices. 2, housing loan facility. A decent home is not just a personal achievement. It is a symbol of stability, dignity, and long-term security for officers and their families. Through Police Exodus SACCO, this dream is attainable. You have heard Hadija talk about the duty-free which we have to provide cheaper materials for construction, and also I think management through the other income-generating activities. We are also encouraging the spouses, our spouses, to start supplying certain things to the police and they get paid. For now, we are constructing some housing units down here. The IGP says our spouses should form themselves into smaller groups so that they are able to supply some of these building materials. For example, sand, aggregate, if possible cement, and so on and so forth. That is 1. Then 2, also they should form an association where they can supply food for those who are working at the sites. It's another area we can think about, you should think about and see how to form association. Then another area also, he has encouraged officers and spouses to come up with things like soap, this liquid soap. And this liquid soap is supplied to our training schools as detergents and so on. As you are aware, we had so many of our officers at the training school, 10,000 who are still there. We have another 7,000 who are in Olilim. So if you are in association supplying soap, liquid soap, at the end of the day you get something. So these are to boost the income of officers. And I think when you form association like you have now, it can improve both your livelihood as an officer together with your spouse, who is the wife, so that at least the two of you can bring, both sides something on table. So these are the areas we are trying to look at to see how to improve your livelihood. To implore Exodus Circle to invest in land for members at a cheaper cost. I've seen this with other circles, because you have the finance, so you go somewhere, identify a big chunk of land, you buy, then you demarcate for members at a reduced cost so that they are able to put up these housing structures we are talking about. Then the third one is post-retirement support. She has talked about the welfare policy, but the word exodus, I'm told, implies departure. For many, retirement feels like exodus from purpose. So I want Exodus to offer specialized products for retirees, especially lower interest rates and advisory services, so that leaving the force does not mean entering poverty.